Hi everyone, it's a beautiful, brisk autumn day here, and it's time for that weather change, and our bodies are adjusting to the change in temperature and climate. But far more than that, that's been happening, what I can see the last week, and it's within my own life and within others also. And it's incredible what's going on, and it's amazing the energies that are around. And really, when you take a step out of, let's say, reality, you are all beginning to put the pieces of the puzzle together. The dots, you're drawing this dot to dot, and the picture is becoming more and more complete. And sooner rather than later, you're going to start to feel the image that you've created with the dots to dots with color. And it's going to reveal something really interesting. And it's going to reveal your truth. You have most definitely been here before. You most definitely have done this before. Not only in this lifetime, but in previous timelines also. And I've often asked the question, why am I here in this particular place in eastern Croatia that was destroyed by the war, etc., etc., etc. Yes, I'm a light worker, and yes, I'm here to share my energy and help others to understand and heal. But this journey that I've been on this week, particularly the places where I've been, there's a bigger picture. And when you look at past lives and past life cases, this region was once commanded by the Romans, which is something that I didn't know. And those that follow me on Facebook know that I've been to a vineyard twice in the last 10 days, 12 days. And I was reading their information a few days ago. And I was reading the history of this region. And this region was controlled once by Marcus Aurelius Probus. And one coincidence in my life is I have the same birthday as Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius Probus was a famous Roman emperor who was laid to rest in Vienna. And he was a lonely man. He was a philosopher. He was a peacemaker. But this region, he ordered this region in 280 AD, 280 before Christ, to produce the wine for the empire, for the Roman Empire. Just down the river, just down here, is the ruins of an ancient Bronze Age settlement. And the more I look at this history around this particular town, there's been a flux of historical importance to this particular town, mainly because of its location on the River Danube. But all around this area, there are old Roman ruins, there are old Roman fortresses that I've only recently discovered. And this paints a different picture to one that I had a week ago about a reason or purpose for me being here. I'm reliving something, I'm re-experiencing something. And when I look at all the places I've been around the world, I can say the same. I was talking to a sister, dear soul sister, a few days ago about Bali. When I was living in Australia in the 90s, I went to Bali 9 times, not for ego, to find something. And on the last visit, I found it. And I have no more calling to go there. Right now, I have a calling to go somewhere else, which those that know me know where that place is. And the purpose of that trip is becoming more and more clear. There's a place that I need to visit. I was called to visit it last year, and I didn't because of time constraints and other things that were going on. But now, again, I'm reminded that this place needs to be visited, and I've put in place steps to find out how to get there, etc, etc, etc. So the manifestation is ongoing. The journey is a constant manifestation. But what do you really want to achieve? What do you really strive for? And it's to live your highest purpose with those that you love dearly and feel pulled towards. And that may not necessarily be your own biological family. You could be pulled towards other people that you have a far closer connection to than your own family, your own blood. And this is an important consideration when you're looking at a spiritual journey. We can't choose our family, but we can choose our friends. And we chose our family way before who we were going to come down, what experiences we were going to experience, and etc, etc. And this is part of breaking those templates that I keep talking about. Shattering those belief systems and mechanisms in which we were brought up, in which were embedded up in us. The rules, the regulations, the how it should be and how it shouldn't be, and blah, 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 blah. The list is endless. And those that chose to not follow that life pattern that was, say, forced upon them are those that are open to breaking those chains, breaking those templates and those belief mechanisms and belief systems. And one of these things has to be religion. The other thing has to be about family values. Where do you in your life see family values? When you're in a relationship with somebody, do you see their family values in a different light? Do their family values represent those values that your family doesn't have? That they should have, in theory, should have. So we're all looking for something incredible, and we're all reaching out and touching it. And once we touch it, we would like more, because this is what feels like home. This is what feels natural. And this is what we should be striving to achieve. Complete contentment, complete happiness, and more importantly, love. And that love, as I say, always comes from within, but there is an external element of other people's love and energy that makes that all complete. And it's fulfilling, it's rewarding, and it just manifests more and more and more love. When you're surrounded by a group of people that are pure love, that energy is incredible. It's unbreakable, and when one falls down, the group will pull them up. This is a team, isn't it? This is what it's all about. Joining with others of like-minded individuals to promote and to live this message of love and peace and harmony. And this is where many are blinded by how to change their lives and how to create this new that exists. This new exists very, very, very clearly in my life and in others that I know. We're thinking differently, we're acting differently, we're processing things differently, and we're living differently. And this is the change that needs, but there's more that needs to be done. It's this sharing it with others and not being afraid to share it with others. You know, I speak openly about my spiritual beliefs. I speak openly about my beloved. I speak openly about anything that's controversial, to shed light to others that need to see things from a different perspective. But at the same time, I also absorb their perspective. And there you have the balance. We may not agree on everything that's discussed, but we reach a resolution that both sides make sense, and therefore you have balance. Where there's love, there's light. But there is also on the other side, there is the other darker elements that exists. And these will forever be present because there is a constant need for balance. The earth needs to be in balance. The universe needs to be in balance. But right now there's a bigger element of darkness. And this is what we need to change. This is what we are here to do. We're tasked with this big responsibility of breaking that illusion that has been created by man. And when it's very, very simple, very, very simple to see when you look at it from a different perspective. And that perspective is history is repeating itself in a big way. Today, more so than ever, we can see all of the elements of rhetoric, war rhetoric, violence, aggression, everything you see is now he said, she said, one against the other. We're bigger than they are. This is the way it should be. We don't agree with the way you are, so therefore we're going to act because we don't believe it's correct. But who are they to say that theirs is the best? When one looks at the geopolitical crisis in this world today, what's going on in those countries that are, in my opinion, the aggressor? What are they hiding? Because their own countries are in chaos. And that's the truth. And that's really a signal, a message to those in America. The country's in chaos, but you're out and about involving yourselves in other countries' issues that are not your issues. Why are you doing this? And the simple answer is wealth, greed, and control. Your version of truth is not the same as our version of truth. We want you to comply. If you're not going to do it nicely, we'll do it in another way. And that's really the subtlety of it. The stock markets and the financial markets of the world are manipulated by the powerhouses. They're manipulated by the rich. Those that want to send a message to those businesses that aren't falling in line with the globalization and the standardization. If you don't meet a global standard, you can't produce your product or sell your product. If you don't meet a global or an international standard, you cannot be this. But who creates these standards? Standards and conformity. Who creates them? Man, the governments. Why? Because they're creating industries from it. And that's the truth. The United States of America has given Israel $36 billion of grant aid to enable it to arm itself. But it must arm itself with weapons produced in America. What's that saying? Who's sucking who here? Sucking, not. Who's kidding who? When you look at how big conglomerates, the world's largest chains, the world's largest brands, they are all pushing the smaller businessman out. They're pushing the smaller supermarket out, and they're taking everything back to their profit. Everything is about now quantity and price. If you can't produce the quantity, you can't supply. If the price isn't good enough, you can't supply. So what is this? This is a control. Because we are a big brand, we determine what we buy and what we don't buy. And if you're not willing to meet these things, then we're not going to buy from you. But you could have the best product in the world, and it will never get it to its marketplace. And that's a sad fact. We are globalizing on a scale to promote wealth for the few. And those few are those that control the politics, the shipping lines, the communications lines, everything. What's this? AT&T in America is going to buy Time Warner. A telecommunications company is going to buy a media house. What do people use these days more so than anything else? Mobile communications, internet, technology. So now a telecommunications company is going to buy Time Warner because it wants to control what you, as a viewer, read and watch. It has an audience because it's sold to that audience for decades. So the idea is to go into your own world and figure out what you need and what you deserve and what you're worthy of. Because what you're worthy of is far more than what the outside world is telling you. Only you know what you deserve. Only you know what you're worth. Don't allow the external influence to say and choose for you, because you have the power within to determine your destiny. And I had a big debate on Saturday about God. I believe we are all gods. We are all gods and goddesses. We have our own power. We create our own future through our actions, through our manifestation, through our desires. And if this is from a position of love, they will manifest. May not manifest how we perceive them, how our perception, but they will certainly come back in ways that we can never comprehend. We just have to value that as a return of love. And I see it every day. I enjoy it every day. I don't talk nonsense every day. I'm within myself. And I am love within myself. I share that love with as many people as I can, because that's who I am. That's the core of who I am. And when I look at my life, that is the core of my life. I didn't agree with the way in which I was brought up. Therefore, I became love. And that love was rejected. And I was punished for being that child, for being that teenager, for being that adult. But I know the very essence of man is love. It's pure and it's unconditional. Take away all these labels. Take away all of these terminologies that have been created by man. Because no matter what we say or do or think, if you look at the pharmaceutical industry, it funds research into all types of illnesses. Why? Because it has a drug that it can sell that can get you addicted and is allegedly there to solve your problem. It's as simple as that. Aspirin, paracetamol, cold and flu things are all multi-billion-dollar businesses. Why is this? So that you can get better and feel better quicker, so you can go back to work and you can produce more of the stuff that you want, that they want you to produce. Isn't that simple? Isn't that clear? What did we do 100 years ago if we had a headache? We either worked through it or we went to bed and rested. The conglomerates don't want you to rest. They want every last drop of sweat and blood from you so that they can achieve their goal of global supremacy. And maybe this video sounds a bit radical, but I don't believe it is. It's the reality of what is, what's been created. If I have a headache, I go to bed, I sleep and I rest, and 2 hours later I wake up. That's what I do. If it's bigger than that, I sleep all night. It doesn't matter to me. There are many other natural herbal supplements that you can buy that can help you with these things. But more importantly, you can help yourself. You have the power within to change what's happening in your body. You have that power. You just have to believe that power. And that power exists in each and every one of you. The energies are certainly shifting, and there are rapid, I call mini dark night of the souls, but they're rapid, 2 or 3 hours long. You're up high 1 minute and you're really down the next minute. You're crying. Something triggers you. These days it's lyrics of songs. It's taking you backwards so that you can go forward. It's taking you to your memories to help you heal them so that you can move forward. And this is what we're all about. We have to go backwards to go forwards. And those that say otherwise, they're talking out of their ass. I'm sorry. They are. The doors behind us need to be open so that pure energy that we've purified can flow through into our current body and flow through into our current conscious mind, because we're free from it. The more doors we have open, the freer we are and the freer we can be. So that's the message for today. Don't be afraid to open those doors. Don't be afraid to step forward into something that you know nothing about. Try something new. Explore all of the wonders that are in front of you, around you, and within you. And you'll find yourself in a different place. That's it for today. From sunny Vukovar, I'm sending you love from my home to your home. Have a great day. Bye-bye.